So hello students, I am Sai Baba here. So in my previous class, I started discussing some special cases in simple harmonic motion. I have discussed one special case, that is special case 1 in SHM, that is the block resting on the horizontal surface of a platform which oscillates vertically up and down in the vertical direction. And I have discussed the calculation for which the block oscillate without losing contact with the platform. So next I am going to discuss some more special cases in this class. So now you don't start writing running notes when I am explaining. Please don't start writing running notes when I am explaining. You just concentrate only to listen now. I will show you the notes after my explanation. So I will show you the notes in the PowerPoint presentation. So after my explanation is completed, then I will be showing you the notes in a systematic way, which you can copy after my discussion. So I tell you when you can write the notes. Till then, please concentrate only to listen and don't write anything. So I am going to discuss the second special case in simple harmonic motion. So I am considering a case where a block is resting on the horizontal surface of a platform. The platform is oscillating to and fro in the horizontal direction. Here the platform is oscillating to and fro in the horizontal direction, performing simple harmonic motion with an angular frequency omega and displacement amplitude A. Let nu S denote the coefficient of static friction between the block and the platform. Let nu S denote the coefficient of static friction between the block and the platform. I am going to discuss the condition for which the block oscillates along with the platform without slipping on the surface of the platform. I am going to discuss the condition for which the block can oscillate along with the platform in the horizontal direction without slipping on the surface of the platform. Let us consider the forces acting on the block. Let us suppose the mean position of the block at the instant shown in the figure is on the left hand side. For a body performing SHM, resultant force is always directed toward the mean position. The weight mg of the block acts vertically downwards, which is a gravitational force on the block by the earth. The normal reaction force on the block by the surface of the platform acts vertically upwards, perpendicular to the surface of the platform and directed away from surface of the platform. So here, at the instant when the block reaches to the extreme position on the right hand side, let us suppose the mean position to the left side, then the block will have a tendency to slip away from the mean position towards right hand side. So the force of static friction on the block by the surface of the platform act towards left side, opposing the relative motion between the block and the platform. So there are two methods for analyzing the problem. One method is to analyze the problem with respect to laboratory frame of reference. I mean with respect to station observed on the ground. The laboratory frame of reference is practically considered as equal to inertial frame of reference. So here, this is the free body diagram for the block with respect to the laboratory frame of reference. Suppose if you want to draw the free body diagram for the block, with respect to platform. On the right hand side, I am drawing the free body diagram for the block with respect to the accelerated frame of reference fixed to the platform. Platform is oscillating left and right horizontally with an angular frequency omega and displacement amplitude capital A. So if the platform is to the right hand side of the mean position, the acceleration of the platform with respect to laboratory frame of reference will be directed towards the mean position, towards left hand side, the acceleration of the platform. This is the mean position for the platform. So the acceleration of the platform will be directed towards the mean position when the platform is oscillating simple harmonically in the horizontal direction. So if you draw the free body diagram for block with respect to the platform, then of course, as I have shown on the left hand side, in the free body diagram on the left hand side, I have shown the real forces which act on the block with respect to the laboratory frame of reference, which is considered to be inertial frame. Very mg narrow reaction. So in addition to these real forces, a pseudo force also acts on the block. The direction of pseudo force will be opposite to the direction of the acceleration of the platform. Here the acceleration of the platform is directed toward left side. So direction of pseudo force on the block relative to the accelerated frame fixed to the platform is towards right side. The block is at rest with respect to the platform because we are going to discuss the condition for which the block remains at rest with respect to platform. Means with respect to observer on the ground, the block oscillates horizontally along with the platform with same angular frequency omega. So static friction force on the block by the platform acts towards left side, opposing the relative motion of the block relative to platform. So block will have a tendency to move towards right in the direction of the pseudo force, I mean relative to the platform. Relative to the platform, the block will have a tendency to move towards right side when the platform is to the right side of the mean position. So with respect to the platform, the net force on the block must be 0 for the block to remain at rest with respect to platform. So net force in the vertical direction or y direction is unmanaged. I choose the vertical upward direction as positive direction of y-axis and the horizontal direction as x-axis here. That is 0. So resultant force in the horizontal direction is equal to MA minus FS or FS minus MA, whatever it may be. That will be 0. If the block is at rest with respect to the platform, then magnitude of static friction force on the block by the platform is equal to M into A, where A is the magnitude of the acceleration of the block. The magnitude of the acceleration of the block is same as the magnitude of the acceleration of the platform, I mean with respect to laboratory frame of reference. With respect to the laboratory frame of reference, the block oscillates along with the platform, means the magnitude of acceleration of the block with respect to station observed on the ground is same as the magnitude of acceleration of the platform. There is no relative motion between them. So at the extreme position, this will be acceleration is maximum. Therefore, magnitude of the static friction force on the block by the platform at an extreme position is equal to mass in the magnitude of acceleration at extreme position is equal to omega square into A. So the block, you can arrive at same equation with respect to the laboratory frame of reference. Suppose if you consider the first free body diagram which I have drawn on the left hand side with respect to stationary observer, WRT means with respect to stationary observer on the ground means with respect to laboratory frame of reference I told you the coordinate system or frame of reference fixed to the station observed on the earth, we call laboratory frame of reference, which is approximately considered as inertial frame of reference. With respect to laboratory frame, resultant force, magnitude of the resultant force on the block in the horizontal direction. Same as the magnitude of static friction force on the block with the platform. From Newton's second law, that is equal to mass of the block into magnitude of action. That means you can arrive at the same equation for Fs, both with respect to the laboratory frame and also with respect to the accelerated frame fixed to the platform. Magnitude of static friction on the block by the platform in both the cases have same expression, equal m into a. But the difference is with respect to the platform, accelerated to the block is 0, net force the block is 0. But with respect to laboratory frame of reference, accelerated to the block, same as accelerated to the platform, which is magnitude denoted by, I mean when the block does not slip on the platform. So the block does not slip on the platform if Fs is less than or equal to S into n. Of course, the static friction between two surfaces in contact can never be more than the limiting value nu S into n. So Fs will be always less than or equal to nu S into n. So the force of static friction reaches the maximum value or limiting value nu S into n at the instant the block, at the instant just before the block begins to slip. So to know the condition for which the block does not slip on the platform, you have to use the condition for static friction, Fs less than or equal to nu S into n. You can write Fs equal to ma on the left hand side and n equal to mg on the right hand side. So therefore the condition for the block not to slip on the platform can be written as A is less than or equal to nu S into G. A can be written as omega square, maximum of acceleration is omega square. The acceleration of the block in SHM is less than or equal to omega square A, and that should be less than or equal to nu S into G. Therefore, the block does not slip on the platform. I mean, the block oscillates along with the platform with no relative motion between them if the magnitude of the maximum acceleration with respect to laboratory frame, omega square into capital A, is less than or equal to nu S into G. Here, omega the angular frequency of oscillation, A is the displacement amplitude. So next, I am going to show you the PowerPoint presentation of same. I mean, I am going to show you the notes for same case which I have just discussed now. So now you can get ready with your notebook and pen. I will be showing you the notes. You can copy the notes in a systematic way. Come on, look at the screen. Those who are writing the notes, please, they can start writing this. First, I have shown you the conclusion directly on the screen. Next, I will be showing the working for this conclusion, which I have just discussed. I will once read out the conclusion. Consider a small block resting on the horizontal surface of a platform, which oscillates horizontally, performing linear simple harmonic motion with an angular frequency omega. Block does not slip on the platform if omega square into capital A is less than or equal to nu S into G, where capital A is the displacement amplitude, nu S is the coefficient of static friction between the two surfaces in contact. So those who are writing the notes, I suggest everybody should write the notes. You can take a pause. You can take a pause and finish writing the notes. I mean, this conclusion you write first. I will be showing the working for the conclusion, which that also you must write, because you should always know how the conclusion is arrived at. Otherwise, sometimes you may forget the conclusion. Still, you should be able to arrive at the conclusion by the working starting from basic theory part. So I am going to show the continuation to this, I mean working for the conclusion. So first I have shown the free body diagram for the block with respect to the platform, that means accelerated frame of reference fixed to the platform. The weight mg of the block acts downwards, n is the magnet of normal reaction which acts upwards. Fs is a magnet of static friction, which I have shown with colored arrow on the block by the platform, which act to the left side. Then pseudo force on the block with respect to platform will have magnitude small m into small a, where small a is the magnet of accelerated platform relative to the ground. It acts towards right side. That means the mean position for oscillation for the platform is to the left hand side in the figure. So that acceleration of the platform is directed towards left side with respect to laboratory frame. So net force of block relative to the accelerated frame of reference fixed to the platform has magnitude Fs minus ma, that is equal to 0, because the block is at rest with respect to the platform when it does not slip on the platform, or Fs equal to ma. You write the, can arrive at same equation with respect to the elaborate frame of reference, which I am considering as inertial frame. With respect to inertial frame is, I mean, with respect to elaborate frame of reference. Only three forces act on the block. With respect to the elaborate frame of reference, its weight mg of the block acts downwards, normal reaction force in the block by the platform acts vertical upwards. Fs represents the magnet of static friction on the block, by the platform acts towards left side, toward the mean position for oscillations. So the block has no motion in the vertical direction, so weight mg of the block is balanced by normal reaction. So with respect to the stationary observer on the ground, so I have written the equation of motion, that is Newton's second law, with respect to inertial frame is with respect to, I mean, laboratory frame of reference, we are considering it as inertial frame for all practical purpose. This is a free body diagram for the block with respect to laboratory frame of reference, means with respect to stationary observer on the ground. So resultant for the block is equal to Fs, that can be the mass into acceleration of the block. Here magnet of acceleration of the block is same as the magnet of acceleration. I mean magnet of acceleration of the block with respect to laboratory frame. Same as the magnet of the accelerated platform with respect to laboratory frame. Those who want to copy, they can take a pause and copy up to here. I want to show the working continuation to this. So at an extreme position, the magnet of the acceleration is equal to omega square into A. So Fs you can write m omega square A. Here capital A is the displacement amplitude and omega is the angular frequency of oscillation. Magnet of acceleration in simple harmonic motion at an extreme position is the omega square into capital A. But force of static friction between two surfaces in contact cannot be more than the limiting value S into n. So block does not slip if you can substitute m omega square A on the left hand side, less than or n equal to mg on the right side. Block does not slip on the platform if m omega square A less than or equal to us into mg, or omega square A is less than or equal to us into g, or the amplitude of oscillation less than or equal to us into g by omega square. That means the maximum amplitude with which the platform can oscillate so that the block does not slip on the platform is us into g by omega square. So those who want to copy the notes, they can take a pause here and finish writing the notes. Next, I am going to discuss the next special case. So next, I am going to discuss the special case 3, another special case in simple harmonic motion. You find questions based on these special cases in almost all the standard books which we use for preparation for different entrance examinations. Coming to the case 3 here, I consider a body, a block, a rectangular block floating. I mean rectangular uniform solid block floating inside a non-viscous liquid with its axis vertical. Let capital A be the horizontal cross-sectional area of the block. The block may be rectangular in shape, in the form of solid rectangular block, or sometimes the block may be in the form of a cylinder. It may be a cylindrical block also. So let us consider a block of uniform area of cross-section A and mass M, which is floating in equilibrium inside a non-viscous liquid. That means viscosity forces are absent. Again, you please concentrate only to listen. Don't write running notes when I am discussing the theory. So don't write running notes when I am writing the working on the screen. I will be showing the notes for this case also after my discussion. So the block is floating at rest in equilibrium inside the liquid. I mean part of it immersed inside the liquid, with the axis of the block vertical. So that center of buoyancy of the is coincide with the center of the block. I mean center of buoyancy does not coincide with center of block. Center of buoyancy and center of mass of gravity of the block lie on same vertical line. Center of buoyancy means it is the center of mass of the liquid displaced by the body. Now see, I am going to show that it can be proved that when the block is slightly pushed down below the equilibrium position released, then it will perform simple harmonic motion. We are going to calculate the time period of oscillations of the simple harmonic motion. Let us first consider the forces which act on the block when it is floating in equilibrium. So when it is floating in equilibrium, two forces act on the block. One is its weight mg, which acts vertically downwards. Second one is the force of buoyancy. I denote this force, magnitude force of buoyancy by Fb. Let H be the length of the block which is immersed inside the liquid when it is floating in equilibrium. Let total length of the block I denote it by L. The total length of the block I denote it by L. Here H is the vertical height of the block which is immersed below the surface of the liquid when it is floating in equilibrium. So magnitude of this force of buoyancy is equal to, first I am considering the situation when it is floating in equilibrium. Magnitude of force of buoyancy denoted by F subscript B is equal to weight of the liquid displaced by the body. Magnitude of force of buoyancy according to the Archimedes principle is equal to magnitude of the weight of the liquid displaced by the body, which is equal to mass of the liquid displaced by the body into acceleration due to gravity. The mass of the liquid displaced by the body can write it as volume of the liquid displaced by the body into density of the liquid. Volume of the liquid displaced by the body is equal to volume of the immersed portion of the body, volume of the immersed part of the body. If H is the length of the block immersed below surface of liquid and capital A is the area of cross section of the block, I mean horizontal cross sectional area, cross sectional area in the horizontal plane, then volume of the liquid displaced is same as the volume of the block of length H and cross sectional area A. So volume of the liquid displaced by the block is equal to volume of the immersed portion of the block inside the liquid. The volume of the block immersed below surface of liquid is equal to length of the block which is immersed inside the liquid into horizontal area of cross section. You can write volume of the liquid displaced as H into A into density of liquid, gives you mass of the liquid displaced into G, gives you the magnitude of weight of the liquid displaced. So that gives you the magnitude of the force of buoyancy or magnitude of force of buoyancy you can write AdlG into H, or length inside the liquid. So when the block is floating in equilibrium inside the liquid, net force on the block must be 0. That means the magnetic force of buoyancy is balanced by true weight of the block. That is FB equal to mg. When it is floating at rest in equilibrium, magnetic force of buoyancy in the upward direction must be same as the magnet of its true weight mg, which acts in the downward direction. So that you can write AdlG D subscript L represents the density of the liquid into G into H. Here M is the mass of the block, M into G. Now suppose if the block is immersed below the equilibrium position inside liquid by a small distance, Y. So when block is at a distance Y below the above equilibrium position, the block is at a distance Y below the equilibrium position, the magnetic force of buoyancy will be equal to, using this equation, magnetic force of buoyancy you can write area of cross section of the block, I mean horizontal area of cross section into density of the liquid into G into vertical height of the block which is immersed inside the liquid. So when the length of the block immersed below surface of the liquid then becomes H plus Y. This is the surface of the liquid. Then magnetic force of buoyancy using the same calculation method will be equal to A magnetic force of buoyancy AdlG into H plus Y, which will be more than its true weight mg, because AdlG H equal mg. So AdlG into H plus Y will be more than Y mg here. That means I take the downward direction as a positive direction for displacement of the block from equilibrium position. Then magnet of the net force, please don't copy the running notes, write the notes now. I will show you the notes in a systematic way. Next, first you just concentrate only to listen. So magnet of the net force on block, I mean magnet of net force of block at the instant the block is at a distance Y below this equilibrium position, equal to magnet of the force of buoyancy which acts upwards minus magnet of true weight mg. This net force acts in the upward direction because the magnetic force of buoyancy in this situation, I mean when the block is a distance Y below the equilibrium position, will become more than its true weight mg. Now magnetic force of buoyancy can write AdlG into H plus Y. If you open this bracket, AdlG H, I am writing say plus AdlG into Y minus mg. But AdlG into H equal to mg. So this is the magnetic force of buoyancy. The same thing I have written. Open the bracket. Now this you can write as mg. Mg plus A dl gy minus mg. This mg gets cancelled. So magnitude of the force at the instant when the block is a distance y below the equilibrium position, magnitude of the force of buoyancy will be A dl g h plus A dl g y, which will more than the weight mg. So magnitude of net force in the upward direction is equal to magnitude of force of buoyancy in the upward direction minus magnitude of its true weight mg, which acts downwards. But if A dl g h equal to mg here, so these two get cancelled. So magnitude of the net force on the block, I mean at the instant when the block is at a distance y below the equilibrium position, is equal to A dl g y, which is proportional to the distance y from equilibrium position. So if you give positive sign for displacement y below the equilibrium position, which is directed downwards, so net force in the upward direction can be given negative sign. So net force on the block at the instant when the block is at a displacement y below the equilibrium position can be written minus capital A into dl into g into y. Because area of cross section of the block is a constant, density of the liquid is a constant at given temperature, g is a constant. Therefore, magnitude of the net force of the block is proportional to the displacement of the block from equilibrium position, but acts opposite to the displacement of the block from the equilibrium position. Here, in the present discussion, displacement y from equilibrium position is directed downwards, but net force is directed upwards. That means net force on the block is opposite to the displacement y from the equilibrium position and proportional to the displacement y from equilibrium position. That means condition for linear simple harmonic motion is satisfied. Therefore, you can conclude that block performs simple harmonic motion. So from Newton's second law, you can write instantaneous acceleration of the block is equal to net force on the block by mass of the block. Net force of the block you can write minus A dl into g into y by mass of the block. But acceleration of a body in a simple harmonic motion can be expressed in the form minus omega square into y. So you get omega square equal to A dl g by m. So from that you get the value of omega here. The time period of simple harmonic motion can be written as 2 pi by omega. So from that you get time period of SHM as 2 pi into root of m by A dl g. So now see, I am going to show you the notes, I mean PowerPoint presentation of the notes for same case. So those who are writing the notes, again get ready with your notebook and pen. I am going to show you the notes. First I will show you the conclusion on the screen. Later I will show you the working. So it will be also a revision of the same discussion. Come on, now look at the screen. First I am going to show you the conclusion of the special case 3 first, which I have just discussed now. Then I will show you the working for that case. So look at the screen. I am going to read out the conclusion. Consider uniform solid block of mass m floating in equilibrium inside a non-viscous liquid of density dl with its axis vertical. If it is slightly pushed down and left, then it performs linear simple harmonic motion with the time period given by capital T equal to 2 pi root of m by A dl g. Of course, here m is the mass of the block and A is the horizontal, where A is the cross-sectional area of its horizontal face. Come on, first you finish copying this conclusion. I mean, you can take a pause and copy this conclusion. So next I will be showing the working for this conclusion. That means the same discussion which I have just done before this. I am going to show you the notes for that in a systematic way. So I'm going to show the continuation for this, that is the working for the conclusion. So here H is the vertical height of the block immersed below surface of the liquid when it is in equilibrium, and Y is the distance or displacement of the block below the equilibrium position in the second situation. The magnitude force of buoyancy denoted by F subscript B, capital F subscript small b. I mean capital F subscript capital B represents the magnitude force of buoyancy which acts upwards. The true weight mg of the block acts vertically downwards, which I have shown in the figure. This magnitude force of buoyancy is equal to mass of the liquid displaced into G. Mass of the liquid displaced can be written as product of volume of the liquid displaced and density of liquid. Come on. Finish writing the notes up to this step here. Take a pause and finish writing the notes up to this step. So magnitude for the volume of the liquid displaced and density of the liquid into G. So volume of the liquid displaced by the block is equal to vertical height of the block which is immersed below surface of the liquid into horizontal. I mean area of cross section of the horizontal face. I am going to show you the continuation for this. Those who are writing the notes, they can please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to this step so that you can write the continuation next. So magnitude force of buoyancy, you can write volume of the liquid displaced into density of the liquid displaced into G. Here V subscript L represents the volume of the liquid displaced by the block. D subscript L represents density of the block. G is the value of acceleration reacted at the given place. So when the block is in equilibrium, in floating in equilibrium, magnitude force of buoyancy is equal to true weight mg. Magnitude force of volume of the liquid displaced, you can write A into H. Here A is the area of cross section of the horizontal face of the block. H is the vertical height of the block which is present inside the liquid when it is in equilibrium. Not the total length of the block, it is only length of the block immersed below the surface of the liquid. Vertical length of the block immersed below surface of the liquid when it is in equilibrium. So volume magnitude force of buoyancy is written as volume of the liquid displaced into density of the liquid into G. Then volume of the liquid displaced by the block when it is floating in equilibrium I have written as A into H. So when it is at a vertical distance Y below the equilibrium position, magnitude of the resultant force of block is equal to magnitude force of buoyancy in the upward direction minus magnitude of its true weight mg. So when the length of the block, I mean vertical length of the block immersed below surface of the liquid is H, magnitude force of buoyancy is AH dlg. The same way when the block is further displaced below the equilibrium position by distance y, then total length, I mean vertical length of the block immersed below surface of liquid becomes H plus y. So in place of H I have taken H plus y for calculation of magnitude force of buoyancy. So magnitude of the force of buoyancy on the block at the instant when it is at distance y below the equilibrium position will be A into H plus y into dl into G. That means we are calculating the magnitude of the resultant force of block at the instant when the block is at distance y below the equilibrium. That means the block is slightly pressed down, pushed down below the equilibrium position and released. When the block is slightly pushed down below the equilibrium position and released, then after it is released, at the instant when the block is at distance y below the equilibrium position, the length of the, I mean vertical length of the block immersed below surface of the liquid will be H plus y. Then magnitude force of buoyancy can be written as A into H plus y into dl into G. So you can open the brackets here. AH dlg plus AY dlg minus mg. You can substitute now AH dlg equal mg here from first of equation I have written at the top. So this mg and minus mg get cancelled. Come on, those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and please finish writing the notes up to this step. So mg minus mg get cancelled. So I am going to show the continuation, notes for the continuation to this. So instantaneous acceleration of the block is equal to resultant force of the block by mass. So resultant force of the block I have written minus A dl Gy. Mass of the block denoted by m. I have put a negative sign here because the direction of the resultant force on the block, I mean at the instant when it is distance y below the equilibrium position, is opposite to the displacement y from equilibrium position. In the present discussion, the displacement y from equilibrium position is vertically downwards. So direction of the resultant force at that instant is upwards. That is, the resultant force of the block acts opposite displacement y from equilibrium position. This equation I have written from Newton's second law. Here, if you are writing the notes, you can, after this step within brackets, you can write from Newton's second law. That means instantaneous acceleration of the block is proportional to the displacement y from equilibrium position, but acts opposite to displacement y from equilibrium position. That means the condition of simple harmonic motion is satisfied, therefore block performs SHM. So from theory of SHM, acceleration of the block, when it is a displacement, it has displacement y from equilibrium position is given by minus omega square y. Substitute A equal to minus omega square on the left side. You get minus omega square y equal to minus A dl Gy by m. So here you get omega square minus y, if you cancel A dl G by m, or omega equal to root of A dl G by m. Come on, all of you, please finish writing the notes up to this step now. You can take a pause and please finish writing up to this step, so that I would like to show the continuation for this. So next I am going to show the continuation, notes continuation to this. So time period of oscillation is 2 pi by omega. So already we have seen here omega equal to root of A dl G by m. So 1 by omega you can write root of m by A dl into G. So I am going to show the continuation. So time period of oscillation 2 pi by omega. 1 by omega I can root of m by A dl into G. Capital A is the area of the horizontal face of the block. Sometimes the block may be rectangular in shape. If the block is in the form of solid rectangular block with length L and linear dimensions of horizontal face, or that means breadth and length of horizontal face are small a and small b, then area of cross section of the horizontal face of the block can be written as small a to small b. So if you substitute that here, mass of the block you can write volume of the block into density of the material of the block. In some of the problems you may not be given the mass of the block. You may be given the dimensions of the block and you may be given the density of the solid block. So if D is the density of the solid block, then mass of the solid block can be written as volume of the block into density of the material of the block. Here D is the density of the material of the block. Volume of the block you can write as area of cross section of the horizontal face into length of the block. So if you write M equal to A dl D, the denominator already have A dl G, so A gets cancelled. Then this formula can also, here this is a formula given in the initial statement. The same thing can also be written like this. In case you are given the density of the block and density of the liquid, or ratio of density of the block and density of the liquid. Suppose if the liquid, water is a liquid, then ratio of density of the block and density of the water can be taken as a relative density of the liquid. I'm sorry, relative density of block. If the block is suppose floating in water, Then dl means density of water. Then ratio of density of block by density of water gives you relative density of the material block. So in terms of densities of the block and liquid, you can write in this way. Here L is the length of the total length of the block, the vertical length of the block. So in my next class, I will be discussing one more special case. Please, those who want to write the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes. I will be continuing this chapter in the next class.